Hello. I just want to talk about the last 2022 general elections in Kenya and why I think that uh, the foreigners who were in charge of our elections were God sent people because if those were Kenyans like Kamau, Otieno, Kipruto, Auma, with the way the deep state was hell bent to make sure that the Kenya elections should go in a certain direction, which is so undemocratic, was so unfortunate. And that is why I support the idea where the elections of Kenya is more of being controlled by somebody who cannot be intimidated, influenced, somebody who is non-partisan to, you know, which party is supposed to win the elections. Because if you look at it, if for example, I would just say, if for example the person who was in charge, you remember the issue that we had about Mosando? That was a tragic thing that happened in Kenya because these are people who cannot be above, influence, and they can be intimidated so that they can act in a certain way. And if they don't, you know, draw the line or go by what the government wants them to do, because Kenya government can do anything to you. They can harass you because they can harass your family members. They know where you live, and also because of your own security, you have to sometimes sacrifice your job for your life. But because last time we had people who were in charge of our elections who were non-Kenyans, so it was very difficult for them to be intimidated to hand over the servers or to hand over the secrets of the elections in favor of the government. And one thing that was very obvious was everybody knew from the beginning that the Asala nation was so popular to an extent that the state was using all means to make sure that they stop it because they knew it this thing was gone. So they employed all kind of strategies to see to it that they can slow it down to a place where the difference is not going to be huge. As somebody said, that if the difference is not so huge, they can use the government to change elections to go a certain direction. So I would still say that our elections should be independent, but more so, the people who will be controlling the servers, the software, should be people who are non-Kenyans. Because if you give it to a Kenyans, and the way Kenyans are so corrupt, they can sell their birthrights, they can sell their country because of billions. Can you imagine a Kenyan person given 10 billion? so that they can change the elections to suit somebody who has a lot of money. They will do it in a heartbeat. But thank God that last general election was one that was won by Azal Nation because it gave hope to so many Kenyans that if the people decide to change the direction of their country the way they want it, because it is not what the president or the incumbent president wants the country to be. No, it is what the Kenyans want their country to be. And Kenyans have a right to choose whom they want. And I'm not saying that if there is an election, always there will be votes. Even in other countries, elections can be so close to 48, 50. But in a democratic space, whoever loses the elections, I know it is painful. You have to swallow the bitter pill and congratulate the other person. Look at in the case of the United States of America, where Mr. Trump lost elections. He was so bitter, he did not even hand over power. Instead of, clinging on to power using cadabra cadabra. But it did not work. And I'm telling you, they are still going after him because of what he did. Because, like in the United States, things are not just being left like that. It doesn't matter how long it takes, they have to, investigate and get to know the truth behind what happened. And anybody who is involved or who was involved in anything that is not right will be accountable. And this is why Kenya has to, come up with ways that, they can investigate serious crimes or serious uh, breakage of laws, so that, it acts as a deterrent for future people or future presidents or future leaders of doing the wrong thing. And one of the things that I can say was, when we watched what happened during the elections, Kenya was almost, going down the tubes, if you know what I mean. It was, it was bad. We also the chaos that happened in Bomas, and we saw what happened in Serena. Those people who were in Serena, they should be investigated. The truth has to be told. Otherwise, in the near future, other IEBC people will do the same thing. We need to know the truth. If they were wrong, let us know the truth. If they were right, let us know the truth. But the truth has to be told. What was going on? Who influenced it? Because I know with the level of poverty that we have in Kenya, people can be used for political reasons. And I'm so sorry to them, because right now the people who use them are now enjoying their retirement, enjoying their life, but the four of them are now being investigated. You have to carry your own cross. Some of these things sometimes it's not worth the stress and all this kind of stuff. Just do the right thing. And if you think something is not going in the right direction, sometimes you have to say no and just, you know, eh, say no to it and give it up and set the record straight. So mine was only to say that it is good thing that elections, and especially the software people who were involved were foreigners. Otherwise, they could just change the elections to suit their own political agendas. So Kenya should continue doing the same thing until we have independent institutions that can do their job without the influence of the government. Then we should do the right thing. Otherwise, thank God for we have uh, Kenya back. We have elections are over, and people are going on by their, going on with their duties. And let us hope that the next elections will be better than what we had this time. Let the people choice be respected, and Kenya will prosper. Thank you.